It's the cold hard truth. Everyone really want to know what's going on with her show. Just get on the air and you will know it's Sandra. The queen of the mile road is here, helping people from everywhere. Get on the phone and you will hear Sandra. Now she will tell you how it goes, but don't you ever step on her toes, 'cause you will hear the cold hard truth from Sandra. They say she's the hero in town, helping people from all around. You get a call, your money is found, it's Sandra. Some will call her late at night just to say that there is a fight, and she will not just leave it alone. She'll get up and call on the phone, and when politics starts on her show, everyone really wants to know the way the things will really go with Sandra. And some will start to criticize, get on the show and tell pure lies, but someday we'll realize it's Sandra. And when they start to argue again, she'll pull the heads to the wind, and soon you will be a friend with Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone wants to hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone wants to hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone got to hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone got to hear from Sandra.
Yeehaw! Good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. Happy Hump Day Wednesday. How is everybody doing today? Everybody's good? Well, there's an accident to start the morning. There by one of the Cayman Bay roundabouts. We're going to post that here in just a second. Hope everyone's okay. It looks like it's 3 cars. I had a quick glance at the image, and it does look like it's 3 vehicles involved. So if you're going in the direction of Cayman Bay, please exercise caution. Slow down going into that roundabout, honey child. We've got Community Day today, and this is where we give back to the community. We have several organizations coming on, including the Cayman Islands Basketball Association and the Sir J. Oh, the name is so long. Sir J. Cumber Primary School, aka West Bay Primary. So they're going to be joining us on the program as well to talk about their upcoming Fun Fest event, which is a fundraiser for the school. So we'll have those 2 guests on, and then the remainder of the show will be open mic opportunity. Everyone's good? Can we get an amen and a hallelujah up in here, honey child?
Praise the Lord.
All righty. You got to give thanks. We are doing absolutely amazing and beautiful, despite the little trolls that be trying to make our lives challenging. Honey child, we dealing with them how we need to deal with them, and we're not going to meet them at their level. Sometimes you got to know what energy to bring to a situation. And so thank you all so much for your messages yesterday. I'm well aware, and trust me when I tell you, this situation is being dealt with, and it's going to be a good one. I'm going to update you hopefully later on today into tomorrow. In case some of you are going, what on earth is Auntie talking about? Don't worry. Soon come, honey child. Soon come. We got Zeus in the studio. He was trying to beat me to the studio this morning. I saw him when he saw me coming in. He started running a little bit quicker. He's like, you're not leaving me behind today. I'm right behind you. He's such a sweetheart. All righty. I think in about 5 minutes, our first guest will come in. So let me use that opportunity then to do some of our administrative elements that we do in the background every morning. And we will get that sorted. Yes, Irvlin. Irvlin said, I won't be discouraged. Irvlin, I was so sorry to see what happened to you as well. Someone broke into your business, looks like, based on the photos that I saw. That's horrible. I mean, it's unfortunate that we live in a day and time now where, you know, we even have to worry about these types of things. So incredibly sad. So she says, in spite of my tragedy, I'm in good spirits. Yes, please remain positive. Hopefully they'll catch the individual. You know, it's so sad now that we all need to have cameras and alarm systems and all sorts of stuff around us to feel safe in our communities. Because there was a time when literally you could keep your doors open and nobody was going to take anything. Nobody was going to bother you. And, you know, it was all good. But sadly, those days, I hate to say it, are now long gone. So sad. But hopefully they find the culprit. You know, stay positive that the RCIPS can make that happen. All right, let me just, I'm trying to figure out which Cayman Bay roundabout this is. So this accident happened a little bit before 7 o'clock this morning. So we're going to just post this up. Hopefully it's been cleared by now and it's not causing additional traffic delays, because I tell you what, in the mornings, that's the last thing we need. Yeah. So, okay. All right. So we're going to get that up and then let me get the links out to everyone. So yesterday was a super productive day for me. I must say that, it's one of those things where you got to get certain things done. So I was quite busy down in the into the computer, doing a lot of paperwork. You know, some days are like that, and so everything got accomplished by 5 o'clock, which was perfect timing. And I was running out the door to go do my school pickup. And yeah, it was just a super busy day. And like I said, some days are just all about getting your community work done and getting, staying about your business, standing on business, honey child. And that's how it goes. That's how the cookie crumbles. Yeah. So I hope that you guys are doing good. I'm just turning up my headset here so that I can actually hear myself and hear my guests when they come on as well. Okay, let's see here. Send out those links. So good morning to Wee Wee. How are you? Dean says hallelujah. Yes. Felicia is here. Thank you guys so much. Strong Wilt, good morning to you. Love your intro music. I have to dance, says Dean. I know. I love it too. Big shout out to the one and only Berman Scott. He did that song as well as another one for us. He actually sent me something the other day and I hadn't had a chance to listen to it yet. But as soon as I see him sending me stuff, I'm like, ooh, is this a new song for me? It's an honor and a privilege, quite frankly, to have Mr. Scott, Mr. Berman, such a talented musician, actually, write something for me. He's just amazing. And it was even requested. He just took it upon himself. And I thought, wow, isn't he amazing? He really is. He really is. Thank you so much, Mr. Berman. So yes, I appreciate him. And musicians like him, Cayman has some amazing talent. And speaking of talent, I see our guest is ready. So Colin, give me one quick second. I'm just going to grab our show links so we can update these and make sure everyone on the channel knows that we're live and they have the show link ready. And so we make it as foolproof. We try to make it as foolproof as possible by sending out the links daily to you guys directly in the WhatsApp channel. And those of you who are in the groups like Washington Boulevard group, Windsor Park group, and Caymanians in Florida, we also send the links directly to them daily as well. Trying to take out any stress involved in getting you what you need each and every morning, but you still got to follow the channel. So there's still a little nugget left for you to do. Good news, wanted by police, Mr. Al Pearson has now been arrested. The RCIPS was seeking the public's assistance yesterday in locating him. I'm like, how many times do they have to locate him? I mean, at this point, they might want to get the court's permission to just put a tracker on Al. I mean, this dude is always wanted by the police. I don't know what they were looking for him for this time, but he is a regular. Yeah, so maybe just put a little tracker on him, because I kind of think that might make sense at this point. All right, folks, links are out. And Mr. Colin, I'm just sending you a message on the chat, so just have a quick look at your screen. All right. And then we're going to go ahead and pull him in. I've got my phone on charge because it looks like I didn't charge it last night. Don't you hate when you do that? You have your phone there and you forget to put it on charge and you wake up, it's like on 15%. Yep, I did that. All right, let's go ahead and talk about our first guest, the Cayman Islands Basketball Association. We've got Mr. Colin Anglin, who is going to be joining us this morning. And we have a little bit of information here that we want to talk about regarding that association. So good morning, Sir Colin. You look like you're still looking for that message. It should be probably on the right-hand side of your screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yep. Just a little bit more. If you can do it a little bit more, almost. It keeps going up. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's okay. So good morning, Colin. How are you?
Good. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I know you keep busy, honey child. If there's anybody, man, that keeps busy, you're at the top of the list. Always doing amazing things.
Well, I like to say that I always feel a responsibility to give back. When I look back at how much I've benefited in my life from people who made the sacrifice despite everything else that they had going on, to make sure they showed up, to referee at games, to drive the bus, to transport our team so that we could go play. I mean, just countless people. They made the sacrifice to do so. So I think what I can do is pay it forward as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for all the amazing work that you do for the youth of the Cayman Islands. And let's get into it now. So the Basketball Association has been very, very busy. There's always stuff going on, and that doesn't happen by accident. That is planning. That is, the members, sort of the management team, such as yourself, really getting involved and making sure that our young people have good, healthy activities to be a part of. And so let's talk about some of what it is that you do, just in case the community doesn't even know.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. Well, we, the Basketball Association, we're the governing body for the sport of basketball in the Cayman Islands. So, of course, you have the world governing body, which is called FIBA, the Federation of International Basketball Associations. And then, under them have all of these member federations, or also called associations. And we're one of them of more than 200 associations around the world. So we've been tasked with the responsibility of developing the sport in the Cayman Islands. So we have a membership of probably coming up close to 2,000 now in terms of people that are in organized activities that we either run or we assist in running. And we run a number of, one of the most obvious things that people will see are our leagues, right? So we work closely with the Department of Education in terms of helping to run the primary school, which is kind of like a under 12, as well as the under 14s. Then we also run a 10 and under, 13 and under, 16 and under, 19 and under. These are all boys and girls leagues, as well as senior leagues as well. And of course, stemming from that, now you also have your talent identification, and then from there, you find your talented athletes and you work on those who have a strong desire to pursue their talents or their athletic ability in the sport. And so then we help them and work with them to then go and compete on the international stage, and also help as many kids as possible that have the ability and the dedication and commitment and the attitude, to pursue their tertiary education. So it's really about anybody who is in our community, whether they be a player, an administrator, an official, a coach, anyone who has a desire to further themselves or realize their full potential in that capacity. It's our responsibility to try our best to provide them with the opportunities to do so.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for that overview of what the Basketball Association is all about and exactly, what it is that you guys do. Because I'm sure there might be parents or even some, individuals listening who go, you know what, I love basketball and I've always wanted to play, and they didn't know anything about your association. So the association keeps very, very busy. I can tell you that they host and put on a number of events every year. The classics, the basketball classic. Tell me the proper name.
The Cayman Islands Classic.
Cayman Islands Classics. There we go. And that's an amazing event that brings people from all over the U.S. Into our beautiful country. And Colin is responsible with the organization for putting that on. And it's an amazing event. It's growing from strength to strength, as we say, every single year. So, Colin, the association doesn't run on hot air. It takes fundraising, it takes money, it takes effort. So tell us a little bit, and this is where now we're trying to support as much as possible what the organization does. Tell us what is involved in running an organization such as this.
Yeah, so you hit the nail on the head right there. We get, basketball is one of the focus sports of the government. So within that we get a grant from the government, which helps tremendously with a lot of what we have to do. But beyond that, especially, I would say, especially when we get into the aspect of our international competitions, this is where we take our athletes now and we continue to give them opportunities to get on the world stage. And that has a lot of different benefits to it, including, building your national pride. Again, giving those athletes a chance to be seen, the opportunity to be recruited, to get scholarships or maybe even get an opportunity to go pro. And beyond that, it inspires the younger generation, those coming up, saying this is something that I can aspire to as well. But within that, of course, there is tremendous cost involved, right? So because we're on an island, countries like Europe and the United States and stuff like that, large land masses, they don't have a huge barrier when it comes to getting a lot of competition from people at great distances. They can take a bus, they can drive wherever they want to go, even if it's a long distance and you're on a tight budget. But when you live on an island, you got to fly, right? And so you find there that then when you have to take a team to go and compete somewhere, you could easily be looking at $20,000 to $25,000 just in a single trip. Right? And so this summer, we actually have our busiest summer ever, I would say. Basketball has really been growing, and I really want to thank, our administrators, our executive, our officials, our coaches, everybody that really puts in so much work to help us get there. The parents who bring their kids to practice every morning and every evening, etc. And so we have our busiest summer because we've grown so much, in particular in the area of 3x3 basketball, which is the fastest growing segment of the sport. When we first started off in 2023, we were ranked maybe like 206, 208th. And now, in the under 23 division, we're ranked in top 50 in the world. So,
Wow.
yeah, so we've made an incredible jump over the last few years. And so we're so busy. So we have a couple of firsts that are coming up. So one is, we have qualified for the very first time in our history for the Commonwealth Games, right? So Commonwealth Games, in the 3x3 division, we're sending men's and women's teams there. They're going to Glasgow, Scotland, and we do have great support there from the Cayman Islands Olympic Committee. Extremely thankful for that. They're also supporting us with our first-time qualification to the Central American and Caribbean Games, the CAC Games. It's our first time qualifying there as well. But we're also going to Chile. This is in late June, through early July, like June 27th through the 3rd of July. And so that we're going to Chile. We're sending the men's and women's 3x3 teams there. Of course, Chile it's quite costly to get there. But that's called the Nations League. That's actually a World Cup qualifier.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a huge opportunity. And so we're playing against the big guns. We're going up against Canada. We're going up against the United States. We're going up against Chile, Puerto Rico, you name it, right? We're going up against all the big guns in our region. And this was actually the first time that we actually experienced going up, playing against the United States. It was in this forum, right? It was like, wow, against the United States on an international stage. So that was really, really good. And we were this close. We all lost by 1 to Canada last year when we met them in the Nations League as well. So that's always a huge tournament for us, and we're going to that. So that's in Chile. And then we're actually sending a few of our youth teams to the AAU World Championships. That's the first time we're doing this as well. For people who may not be familiar, AAU stands for the Amateur Athletic Union. They're basically the largest youth sport organization in the U.S. And so this is kind of like a circuit where teams and athletes are always playing in outside of their regular school schedule, like their high school schedules. This is a huge recruiting ground, pretty much. You have lots of college coaches that are always there, always scouting talent coming through these AAU circuits. And so we're fortunate enough that we're able to send a few teams there this year. So the boys division is going to be held in Orlando, Florida. That's July 2nd through the 5th. The girls will be in Knoxville, Tennessee. So that's an incredibly busy summer for us. It's a good problem to have, of course.
Yes.
That's why we're appealing now as well to the community, because of course we can't do this without our public-private partnerships, right? And so one of the methods that we came up with was something called the Fortune 500 program, where in essence we're approaching a lot of companies to give a little or a little bit more if they want to. And the Fortune 500 is simply, hey, if you're looking, we'd love your support in terms of a donation of $500 or more, right? And it goes a long way. So we've had some companies that say, well, Colin, I would love to give something, but I'm not able to come up with a huge sponsorship, or I can't give 1,000. I might not be able to give 5,000 or something. But I still want to help. And so that's part of the reason why this program was developed. And, and so it's in essence, one of the reasons we came up with the name was, if you think about when you Fortune 500, you can look at it as, if you're looking at an investment fund, and sometimes you may give a certain amount of money into an
Mm-hmm.
investment fund, but they spread it out amongst like the best stock picks and the best companies to invest in. So
Yes.
this kind of allows us to also spread it through our various programs, because again, we have, even locally, we have our academy program, for children between the ages of 7 and 15. Want to thank Royal Bank for that, because they came in as a really huge for us as well this year. Um,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of course, all of our various youth leagues. So we're always in need of funding. But the Fortune 500 allows you to do that, right? We can contribute in a number of different ways. And so I'm very grateful for those companies that have already come on. We've had RF Bank and Trust. They came on, donated 1,500 for us. Pick a Service, they donated 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just wanted to make it really, really simple or really easy for people to be able to give whatever they could.
Mm-hmm. And we'll get some of those details this morning in
Yes.
terms of how you can actually reach out to the association and how you can make those donations. So
Yeah.
lots of things coming up. And of course, you have events such as the 5K walk run, which
Yes.
I'm sure is one of your good fundraising events, doing as much as you can to help yourself, not just out here saying, give me, give me, give me, but, help if you can. And we're also out here hustling both on and off the court in order to make sure that our young people are benefiting. Now, I hope that we don't have to remind our listeners about how important sports are to our youth and community. And as former director of, the sports department here in the Cayman Islands, Colin, maybe we should take an opportunity to just remind our listeners what and how children benefit who are active and involved in sporting activities.
That's an excellent point, Sandra. I think I think Nelson Mandela probably said it best, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Sports has the power to change the world. It has the
Mm-hmm.
power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does.
Mm-hmm.
Sports can bring hope where once there was only despair. Sports
Mm-hmm.
speaks to youth in a language they understand. It is more powerful than governments in breaking down racial barriers." I mean, sports is it's a critical piece of the fabric, the social fabric of our country. And not only just the enormous physical benefits, because of course, we're also facing, I think, an obesity crisis as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's so important to kind of lay that foundation very early for an active lifestyle, because you want people to just be active for life. It's not about you're only going to get involved in a sport because you think your child has the chance to become a pro. It's not
Mm-hmm.
about that. That's the icing on the cake. The main thing is about them getting a healthy foundation. It's great for their body. It helps to relieve stress. It helps to improve their concentration, for school and for their studies. It's a great way for them to meet people, to make friends, and it teaches them a lot of incredible skills that they need for life. I
Mm-hmm.
always say not just winning, but more importantly, how to take a loss, how to deal with losing, how to deal with disappointment. Learning to say, hey, you know what? Okay, I didn't perform the way that I thought I should, or you know what? I gave my all, but we still lost. But you learn, you get to talk them through that, and they say, okay, this is about persistence. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to get back up again. I'm not going to be deterred just because things didn't work out the way that I thought it would work out this time.
Mm-hmm.
So, dealing with losses, I think is an even greater teacher, than of course coming up
Mm-hmm.
and winning all the time.
Yep.
So it's about all of those things with character building. Teaching them the importance of being on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you want to be on time, you come early, right? Come before your practice time so you can stretch. You can make sure you warm up and you're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And learning to work with people, especially in that team sport environment. Hey, you got to get
Mm-hmm.
along with people that are from different places, different districts, different schools. That's one of the things that we really like, even from different clubs. So sometimes kids get used to just competing against each other all the time, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When they actually get in a national program, it's no longer about your club and my club. And now we're wearing the banner of the Cayman Islands.
Mm-hmm.
So we learn to come together, and so it's just so many incredible benefits for sport, and
Yeah.
it's really, really important that people continue to support.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you
And
for bringing it up.
I will also say that one of the things, a lot of us are pushing our children to be academically driven, which is great. And sports actually help with that as well. Children who are involved in sports actually have better academic performance. So
Yes.
these are various studies throughout the years that have shown that children involved in sporting activities develop better focus, time management, and problem solving skills, which
Yep.
can positively impact school performance as well. So lots of overall benefits, mental health benefits as well. I know a lot of us are constantly talking about children being under stress, anxiety, and symptoms of depression. All of those things can be reduced while boosting mood and emotional resilience when you are involved in sports. So basketball is one of the amazing and great options here in the Cayman Islands. And the association has their 5K walk run coming up now on June the 28th. So you've got plenty of time to look at your calendars and to go ahead and set that time aside. And this is going to be a fun event. So tell us a little bit about some of the details of this event, Colin, and how people can specifically support this event.
Sure, yeah, and these funds raised are going specifically to our youth teams that are going away in the summer. So of course, this is a walk run, and this is actually the inaugural one that we're putting on. I want to say a huge thanks to Miss Charmaine Miller, who's spearheading that for us. And so you come out and you can bring your teams in terms of work. You can sign up multiple people. Bring your kids, etc. Come and do the walk or do the run, whichever one you want to do, and then afterwards we're going to have some fun activities actually as well. So we'll have a couple of shooting competitions and all that, because it's taking place at Cayman Bay, and finishing there at the Arc. Right after that, we go inside there and we play some games as icing on the cake for it as well. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So of course, to register, people can go. We're actually on Cayman Active, or you can actually go as well on our website, caymanbasketball.com/5K, and just register online right there. So we make it really easy for you. And again, we really, really need the support. We appreciate that. And our kids are certainly looking forward to their experiences and competing and wearing the Cayman banner this summer.
All right, folks. So please support this. They've already got some sponsors on board. Big shout out to those who've come on board. But of course, I'm sure that they would welcome more. And, the way that you can really make this a successful event is to simply come out and participate. I love to see the 5K events that have lots of individuals out and enjoying themselves. It's a great way to get up in the morning, 6:30. Is that going to be a Saturday morning or Sunday morning? June 28th.
Sunday. Oh boy, sorry about that.
Okay, no worries. But anyway, I know for sure it's a weekend.
That is a Sunday.
That's a Sunday. Okay, forces you to get up early on a Sunday and get some of those steps in, get some good, blood flowing through you, some good activity, and have a fun time.
Activate that metabolism.
Yep. Have a fun time with our young people. So let's talk now about, I've got some other information here. You're going to tell us about your National Men's League. We've got Division 1 and Division 2 information. So tell us a little bit about what this is.
Oh yeah, so this is the culmination now of the men's league that's happening. And so I really want to encourage people to come out again. This coming Sunday at the Arc is going to be game 2. So people are watching the NBA conference finals and stuff now as well, but we also have our division finals. So for Division 1, it's between so this graphic.
No, go ahead. Sorry. Cool. You want to do Division 1 first? Yep.
So for Division 1, we have the Soul Blazers, who have won, I think, like 10 or 11 championships over the years. They're the winningest team, in the last 15 years, I would say. Those guys are led by Samuel and Shadow Garo, Tariq Smith James, Justin Golob, Josh Cottrell. And then we have the Lions, who are actually the defending champions. They dethroned the Blazers last year. So this is a bit of a grudge match, folks. This is really serious stuff, because the Lions want to prove a point that it wasn't a fluke, and then the Blazers are saying, "Nah, we're going to show you that it was a fluke. We're taking back the throne," in essence. And the Blazers, as you can see here in Game 1, they really kind of put a spanking on the Lions. I don't know if the Lions really expected what the level of intensity that the Blazers came out with.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that the Lions now have made their adjustments, and so they're looking forward to Sunday to come back to try to tie this series. It's a best of 3 series, so the team that wins 2 games first wins the championship, and so it's do or die right now for the Lions. That's the situation there. So that game is happening this Sunday at 5:45 p.m. at the ARC. That's the Arts and Recreation Center, located at Cayman International School. So that's it for Division 1. And for Division 2, we have our U17 team. This is actually one of the teams that the walk run actually supports, because most of the players there are actually going off to the AAU World Championships as well. So this is these are a lot of players from our U17 team.
Mm-hmm.
They are coming up against the defending champs, Filipinas. Okay, and we know as well the Filipino community. They are huge on basketball. They have, they pack the stands, and so it's very, very important. We need our Cayman community. You better come out and make sure you support our under 17 boys. It's a great atmosphere. And they're going to need as much support as they can get. So in Game 1 of that game, if you wouldn't mind, switch it right. So in Game 1 of that, the U17 Storm and the Filipinas are the 2-time champions. So they're looking to three-peat. They have met the U17 already in the past and beat them. So the U17 they really want to defeat these guys. They were actually up by about 13 or 14 points in the third quarter, I believe, last game in Game 1. And Filipinas went on a run. They changed their strategy, and they ended up winning by 12. So I know that one had a great sting to it, and so U17 is coming out, with like sharks that see blood in the water, that kind of thing.
They're ready.
Yeah, they're coming out. They're coming out. So again, their game now, Game 2, that's taking place this Sunday at 4:00 p.m. at the ARC. So that's when those 2 games are happening. Really want to encourage everybody to come out there. There's an admission fee of $5 for the finals, and of course, all the proceeds for that again go towards our youth teams that are going off to the AAU championships.
Wonderful. And come on, folks. We know times are tough financially, but $5, a lot of you spend that and more on a coffee. Think about that. And this is something that could really benefit our young people. And let me just say, Colin, that there's a website, social media pages, that people can find out a bit more about the organization and what events you have coming up.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. You can tune into us at, caymanbasketball.com. That's our website. You got loads of information there as well. And actually for those interested in getting involved in the Fortune 500 program, we actually have that presentation up on our website. So if you go to caymanbasketball.com, you see Fortune 500 program. You can click on that. The presentation is there. It also has our banking information and all that right there on that presentation. And in addition to that, on Instagram, we are at 345 Basketball. That page is extremely active. I think we come out at around, I think, close to 80 to 100,000 views a month. So it's very active. And then we also have our Facebook page as well, Cayman Basketball. So, so yeah, tune in. And like I said, come out and support. We got a lot of stuff.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Again, folks, Colin Anglin has a couple events coming up on behalf of the Basketball Association that he wants to encourage you to get involved in. Get your children involved in basketball. Reach out to him if you need more information. You've got the social media pages and the website. And yeah, this is, an amazing organization that has been doing a lot for our young people for a really, really long time. So Colin, we really appreciate you coming on this morning and sharing some of what's happening with the association and the program.
Thanks very much for allowing us to be on your platform, and we really appreciate it.
And do you have a contact number? Some people like to WhatsApp or call about these things. Do you have any number that is that better than maybe email or social media?
They could reach out to me, 928-9072. They want to reach out to Coach Voot. He's 916-5083. My direct email is canglin@caymanbasketball.com.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Colin, and good luck with your upcoming 5K walk run and all of your fundraising efforts.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate it. Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you again. And we want to encourage folks to obviously get involved. You know, we talk a lot about our young people and what they're doing and what they're up to, but there's no better way to show your support than to actually get involved in these youth-focused activities. You know, they do fundraising. Like I said, you might not be able to give $1,000, but even if you can give a little 25, a little 50 to the organizations, they're doing such amazing work keeping our young people off the streets and into something super productive. Please make the time to do so. Let's take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with our next segment and our next guest and something else that I know all of you will want to support.
If you're a parent right now, you already know the cost of living has gone up. Rent, childcare, groceries. When the cost of living rises, government must rise to meet it. And we have. Under the revised ECAP policy, our Early Childhood Assistance Program, we've increased funding to keep pace with what families are actually paying today for their children's early education. Who benefits? A father working every hour he can. A single mother doing it alone. A grandparent raising grandchildren they love. Maybe that's you. Up to 235 Caymanian children will benefit directly. And I want every single one of them to have the start they deserve. That is why we're here. If you've applied before and been disappointed, I encourage you to try again. If you've never applied because you assumed you wouldn't qualify, now is the time to find out. And if the funding didn't feel like enough before, it should now. Is your child 3 years old and Caymanian? You may qualify. Visit us at moeapplications.gov.ky and apply for the 2026-2027 academic year.
All right, folks. Wonderful. Lots of amazing things happening with the NCFC government offering additional funding. Please, if you are in need of ECAP funding, check out that option. Go to the website, email them to get more details. So up next, we have the Sir John A. Cumber School. We've got Mr. Gregory Ebanks joining us this morning. Good morning, sir. How are you? The PTA, Parent Teacher Association. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Good morning.
All right.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Are you the president?
Yeah, I'm the current president.
You're the current president.
PTA Association. Yeah.
Okay. Now, I'm sure everybody knows what PTA is all about. Parent Teacher Associations all over the world within schools. But what would you say for Sir John A. Cumber is the remit for the PTA?
So for our PTA, we try to help improve the lives of the students, teachers, and the parents.
Mm-hmm.
We try our best to help parents as much as possible, especially rising costs, additional activities for children to participate in.
Mm-hmm.
Most of our parents work until 6 usually, so we
Mm-hmm.
support after-school programs. We support programs for the teachers as well. And then throughout the year, we do numerous events for the students. So any way that we can improve the experience for the students, parents, and teachers, that's what we are all about.
Fantastic. And Sir John A. Cumber obviously is a school there in West Bay, formerly the West Bay Primary School. And they also have an event that is coming up that they'd like the community to get engaged with and to participate. And tell us a little bit then about your upcoming Fun Fest, which is set for Saturday, the 6th of June.
Right. So the Fun Fest, this is the first year it's named as the Fun Fest, and I'll give you some cool facts about how we came up with the name. The parents, members of the PTA, they all participated in a survey to suggest the best name that they could think of. The PTA executive then narrowed it down to 10 suggestions, and then the students voted on the name that they preferred the best. So it was a collaborative effort, and the students eventually chose the name Fun Fest, which will be the name of our annual fundraiser going forward. This is the second year we're doing it. I don't know if you recall, we spoke at last year's event on the field. So this is the second year. So we're aiming to improve and provide more activities and just interaction for the public and just building the community spirit. We're going to have numerous things at the event. I can go through a list here. This is not exhaustive, but just to give you highlights, we'll have a DJ, we'll have a dunk tank, face painting, an art booth. We'll have some local Cayman artists as well as some student artists displaying their works. We'll have bouncy castles, 2 massive bouncy castles. Thank you to
Wonderful.
Mr. Vincent and Jatoya, who are parents at the school, as well as Apex for donating those to us. We'll also have a water slide, thanks to Party Source. They donated that.
Wonderful.
We'll have some other vendors within the West Bay community who are also parents. We have Fraser Design. We'll have horseback riding. Thank you to Mr. Paul Rivers for donating his horses. We'll have numerous family backyard games, egg and spoon race, potato sack race, stuff like that, with prizes to the victorious ones. We'll have a number of our public service providers out there as well. Last year we had the fire service, the regiment, the prison, and the Coast Guard out there. So they've committed to attending the fundraiser again. They'll just bring some of their equipment to showcase it. It was a big hit with the kids. They love blowing the horn, and who knows, maybe they'll get a chance to turn on the fire hose and check out the boats and stuff like that. We have a commitment from the police to be at the event this year, so I don't want to speak too soon, but hopefully they'll have a nice display for us. And then we hope to end the show with a nice little fireworks display like we did last time.
Wonderful. Yeah, no, I was out there, I think it was last year. And I brought my daughter along. She had a fantastic time. The kids, the food was great. First of all, let's talk about the fish fry. Hello.
Sorry, not the main event.
Yes, that was
fry. Thank you to there's 2 people assisting us with the fish fry this year. Last year was Mr. Ron Connor. He's helping out again. And then we have Mr. Kevin Goldburn. So they're donating their time and expertise with the fish. And then we have Mr. Makande Thomas. He's going to help us again this year with the jerk chicken. So thanks to those gentlemen who are donating both product and their time to come out and help with the event.
No, it was really a well put together event last year. And of course, I expect no different. Folks, this is your opportunity. You don't have to be living in West Bay to enjoy this event. Take kids. I think we had, I actually took my daughter along with her friend, and her friend goes to Prospect Primary or Red Bay. Oh gosh, I always get those 2 confused, but I think it's Prospect that she goes to. So you don't have to go to Sir John A. Cumber. The kids, kids don't care. They just, wherever there's fun, wherever there's a bouncing castle, wherever there's good food and fun activities for them, they're all about that. So come out and support this amazing event. Tickets are only $25. Tell us what the tickets include.
Right. So the ticket includes entry and a free meal and a drink. All right. So the free meal would be from the jerk chicken and the fish stand, and a free drink. There will be other items for sale during the event.
Mm-hmm.
We have a concession stand with your usual festival snacks and so forth, right? So that'll be there. But important to note, the children primary school children aged 12 and under are free to enter the event. So the ticket is mainly for the adults,
For the adults, yeah.
and a donation towards the PTA. But all children are invited. It's not limited to West Bay, like you said. We had numerous parents that came from other districts last year, and it just kind of blended and made the community event amazing. So please come out. It's a very fun day. The children are going to love it. They'll build lasting memories.
Absolutely. And I'm trying to remember, I think I had actually 4 kids with me because I brought some who attend prep as well. They're, friends of my daughter. And I said, come on. I said, parents, I'll take the kids for the day. You guys take a break because we're going to go to this fun event. And they all had a really, really fantastic time. So this event is coming up. Believe it or not, today, folks, is the 27th. This is the last week of the month. So this event is going to be here quickly. Do you need any additional help in terms of, people who can put on displays and different things for the kids? Or are you pretty much set with that part of the Fun Fest?
I think we're set. We've exhausted a lot of space on the field currently. So I don't want to hinder anyone else who may have a really good idea. So please reach out to us.
Yes.
You can send an email to us at the SJACPS PTA office at gmail.com or call us at 516-6220. If you do have a brilliant idea that you'd like to share, we're more than willing to consider it and see how we can implement it on the day. But we do have a large number of volunteers currently. We always need more, but we do have a good roster of volunteers, mainly parents from the PTA membership. So a big shout out to them. Without the parents, honestly, none of this would be possible. But we could use a few extra hands here and there. So if there's anyone within the community listening and you love to volunteer for events like this, please reach out to us. The number again is 516-6220.
All right, wonderful. All right, we do have a caller on the line. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program. Hold on 1 second. Let me just make a little adjustment so I can hear you. Hold on, honey child. Hold on. Oh, she's still talking.
One in the outgoing there.
Sorry. Just start over for me. We couldn't quite hear you at the beginning there.
Yes, I hear you talking about donation for children and things like that at the Johnny Comber. I have more than one great grand going there, but there's one there that everything is me. So I want to find out more information where to send the donation to.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Keep listening.
Okay,
we're gonna get
information. Get that information and then you can pass it on to me.
All right, darling, no problem. So this caller actually calling all the way from the UK, but knows what a wonderful job the PTA does at Sir John A. Cumber and wants to, although she can't personally attend, wants to maybe just give the $25 as a donation.
Okay, perfect. I forgot to mention, so the ticket sales are through Tickets Plus as well as at our PTA office at the school. So for the lovely lady that just called in, you can go to ticketsplus.ky and look up our event. It's the Fun Fest. I think if you type that, it should come up. So that's ticketsplus.ky and Fun Fest, and you can purchase a ticket there.
Okay.
We thank you to Tickets Plus as well because they gave us a reduced rate on the convenience fee. So, the people purchasing tickets won't pay that much extra. I think it's just $1 extra. So you can always give a donation that way, Tickets Plus.
Yes. All right, folks. So Tickets Plus, check out their website and just select this event for June the 6th. And even if you're not able to attend, but you just want to give a donation as that caller, wants to do, then by all means, you can do that directly online. Wonderful. Anything else that we need to know about the Fun Fest, about the event before we let you go?
Just that the PTA funds many different projects for the school, right? I think you may have seen some in the news recently. We installed some new playground equipment for the key stage 1 and 2 areas, and that was a sizable investment. We also do all of the general events that happens throughout the year, including graduation. There's something special we do for the teachers. We have like the final AGM for the PTA. That's a nice event that we throw for the parents, and we do some prize recognition for people who have assisted in the community. So there's numerous things. This is a great event to support. I think the PTA does a lot, not only for the school, but for the community, because we also donate to other charities throughout the year as well. So come out and support us. We would love to see you there. And if you can't, like the lovely lady is going to do, you can just do a donation through Tickets Plus. And every dollar goes towards supporting those initiatives. The main one we're focusing is we're trying to recuperate some of the costs for the playground equipment, which was the largest purchase we've ever made. So all proceeds will go towards those things.
Fantastic. And we've got a person here who's just messaged us and said, good morning. We're going to support SJAC PS, our primary school. So this is wonderful. Thank you so much for the support. And the pledges really, really go a long way. So thank you so much, Mr. Gregory Ebanks, president of the Sir John A. Cumber Primary School there in West Bay, doing a lot of amazing things with his team. Maybe tell us who the other members of the PTA are, because I know they work incredibly hard to put on not just this event, but all the other initiatives that you were just speaking about.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And without a good team, you really can't make anything work out, as great as it has, right? So I'm the president. We have Dion LeBlanc. She's the current vice president. We have Mr. Samuel Smith. He's the current secretary. We have Belkis Bodden. She's the treasurer. And then we have Mr. Anthony McFarland as the executive assistant. So that's the executive committee for the PTA.
All right, fantastic. Well, thank you, sir. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you too. And also I want to give a shout out to CMR, because you did donate this time slot for us free, and we really appreciate that you gave us this opportunity to spread the message. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome. Thank you so much. All right, folks. Again, we're going to play a little video here to ensure that we'll play this right up until the 6th for them at no cost. This is how we like to give back to the community. But make sure you go out June the 6th and you have some fun. If you can't attend, feel free again to still go to Ticket Plus and make a donation.
Everyone, get ready for the Sir John A. Cumber Primary School PTA Annual Fun Fest, happening Saturday, June 6th from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Sir John A. Cumber Primary School field. Enjoy face painting, bouncy houses, carnival games, horseback riding, and fireworks. Fun for the whole family, all for just $25, including entry and one meal. Tickets are available at the Sir John A. Cumber Primary School PTA office or online at ticketsplus.ky. Every ticket helps fund new playground equipment for our students. Don't miss it. We'll see you there.
All right, folks. Wonderful. So yes, we here at CMR are all about community, and we like to give back whenever we can. So sometimes you'll see NPOs on the program. Most of them don't get charged, and sometimes we do just like a nominal fee because everybody's got bills to pay and everybody does have expenses as well. But we like to support certainly where we can. So Community Day, something we will do on a regular basis. If you're a PTA, school organization, basketball associations, sporting associations, and you want to come on the program to discuss all the amazing things that your organization is doing, just reach out to us. We've got emails. We've got sales@caymanmallroad.com. That's probably the best email address. But we also have tips@caymanmallroad.com. Most people have my number, 324-1612. You can WhatsApp me and we will find some room in the calendar and the schedule to put you in and, support your organizations and just get the word out there, because we know that literally every single day, thousands of people are listening to our daily shows. All right, so we've got Johan here. He says, libertada da for the yo. So liberty for Johan. Oh my goodness, Johan, if you could only roll the clock back, right, to over a week ago on that dreaded day, May the 15th, when you did what you did. I'm sure now, looking back and reflecting on it, you would have said to yourself, taking the wrong kind of jab at a government minister was simply not worth it. Because now look at you. You're banned and you can only comment in the What's Up section. But let's look at the positive side. Unlike some other people, you're not completely banned. You can still comment. Look at that. You got to look at the silver lining in all things in life. Yes. So, we don't always get what we want. And of course, there are consequences. That's tough. I know how tough that must be, Johan. I mean, listen, I was reading something about good parenting this morning, and the things that we do sometimes that we don't recognize as parents, that means that we're going to be raising little tyrants, and we're going to be raising children who are entitled. And one of the things it said is, do not compromise with your children when it comes to food. And I was like, oh man, like you give them options, like we have this to eat. And the first thing they do is try to negotiate with you. It said, cut that out, because that's one of the signs. If you're constantly giving in to your children and making, if you're constantly giving in to them and making these concessions, they will believe that the world revolves around them. Mm-hmm. And I thought to myself, I feel like at times we're all guilty of that. Like they don't want to eat their vegetables. And sometimes you just have to reiterate that there is no choice. This is not debatable. You're going to eat that broccoli, honey child, and the cauliflower and the carrots. So, yeah, remember when our parents made us do it? I know I used to be feeding it to the dog. I would eat some, and then poor old Prince, his name was Prince, my aunt's family dog, and he was always right there ready to help me out, and I'd be like, give him a little piece of broccoli or something. He always ate it up, not a crumb left. So he was my buddy. He really helped me out. But yes, you got to really put down your foot, folks. And hate to say it, Johan, but this is all on you. This ain't got nothing to do with me, really. I'm just here as the enforcer. But, we got here because of your actions. So sorry, but not sorry. All right, let's keep it moving. I want to really remind our listeners here today that you are going to now, let me just double check something. The Larry and Linda situation, we need your, let me just find out when this petition is going to be submitted. But we really need your support, and, try to sign this petition. I did send it out. I think it was Friday, just reminding people of what it is that we're talking about. Okay. We're not talking about, although this is obviously a significant part of the conversation, we're not just talking about a man, an adult man who at least is in his 50s. I can't remember Larry's exact age, who, decided to assault a young Caymanian child, because to me, a 17-year-old kid, a 16-year-old is still a child, decided to assault a young Caymanian child driver on a public roadway, verbally assault as well as physically assault. And God knows if Larry had his way, if this young man was, perhaps not willing to defend himself as he did, Larry would have, done even more damage. Because as you can see, he grabbed him and was trying to pull him out of the car, which is low key crazy to me that someone would even try that. Anyway, the young man thankfully was able to hold his own and, defended himself. And so, yes, that's a big part of why Larry and Linda should never even want to stay in this country. I'm surprised that they do. And that certainly says a lot about who they are. However, let me also remind you that generally speaking, these individuals has demonstrated a degree of don't care attitude and non-compliance towards the rules of the Cayman Islands. So they just don't care. That it takes a different kind of person to not really care about anything. You know, they don't care about our immigration laws. So he is here on a work permit for a company that he's part owner in, which is interesting. And he is at the point now where he can apply for PR, but what does he do? He allows his work permit to run out, doesn't renew the work permit, because you can't at that stage. You need to either go or apply for PR. And then he applies for PR late. You know, that demonstrates that this is someone who just doesn't give a darn. They're like, I don't care about your rules, right? And really, when you think about it, we don't want those kind of people living amongst us. Something as simple as meet a deadline. We all have deadlines that we have to meet. And trust me, when you're busy, you know, these things crop up on you all the time. Every time I see an email like, oh, business license renewal coming up, I'm like, oh man, I got to make sure I get it in by a particular date. You get the email reminders and that sort of thing. But here you have someone who just does not care. They don't care what we think, right? They don't care that they could assault a young man in a public place. And they believe that there should be no consequences around that. That they try to twist the narrative. You know, you see him the day after running to the hospital. The East End residents were messaging me. Sorry, I got to brush out something. The East End residents were messaging me saying, oh yeah, he's up at Health City the day after wearing the exact same clothes, pretending like he was so injured that he can't even change his clothes and have a bath. Like, really? Dude, please, you probably been in more bar fights than, that young man has seen on Kung Fu fighting TV channels. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on. So he ignores the rules, doesn't apply on time, which means for months now, he has been here unlawfully. Because if you're a foreigner in this country, you either need to be on a work permit, visitor's visa, or a PR, something. You're going to have some kind of immigration status regularized, get a stamp in your passport for an extension. He didn't bother to do any of that. The man just don't care. He's like, who are you people? I don't care about your stupid laws. So then he applies late to get his PR, okay? He's like giving you the middle finger, immigration, WRC, right in your faces. Then what does he do after all that? We find out that this is a man who honestly has a history of don't care and non-compliance. And for years, he has been, working under the pretense of, he's an assistant within his own company. And yet everybody's like, an assistant to who? Since you own the company, please explain this to us. People do, my apologies, do this all the time, where they basically lie to immigration in order to pay a lesser work permit fee. You see, I'm bothered by it because these people come here and they are able to lie to us, they hoodwink us, claim that they have money. Yes, he wants to drive around in some ugly cyber truck, which costs a pretty penny. And yet you can't give to Caesar what is due to Caesar. You can't give the government the correct fee for the position that you actually have in the organization. Because guess what? They want to spend money on what they want to spend money on. And I can tell you what, paying our government fees, and these are fees, folks, that our government relies upon in order to, to fill the coffers, okay? To give us all the things that we need in, not all of them, but as much as possible in this country. Those government fees pay for stuff. You walking on the sidewalk, as my Aunt Lottie used to say, living in the US, she said, honey child, whether you walking on the sidewalk or you're spitting on the sidewalk, you are paying for that privilege. So do not forget, Here in America, you pay for everything. That's what taxes are for. And I know y'all don't think we have a tax system in the Cayman Islands, but we don't have direct taxes and things like income, but we pay a lot of duty in a lot of different ways. So this person, he is not a good person. He's constantly abusing the handicap spot there at Grand Harbor. And I don't know if he's handicapped or what's going on with him, but he's not, once again, bothered to go through the process of getting the sticker. So you cannot, without the proper decal, you cannot park in that spot. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy.
How you doing?
Good. I'm doing great.
Awesome. Tell me.
First, let me say, you can't blame people like Crazy Larry because as long as you do things and you keep getting away with it, you're going to keep doing it.
Yep.
So we have to sew up those loopholes.
Yes.
Right.
I agree.
And stop those kind of crazy things. Furthermore, when people come to this country, if they are not genuine, and this is what I have a problem with as well. We, or when I say we, the authorities, like work and other different parts, are not doing their due diligence. Because when people apply, and obviously lots of them will lie on the application, but who is critiquing it? Who is checking it?
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, it is not being done. So people are getting away with. People are coming here on a work permit, and then they turn around applying for a work permit for somebody else. How is that possible?
Yep.
Anyhow, the second thing I want to say this morning, I don't know what's going on with Flow, but from yesterday morning, there's no internet. I'm trying to call them. The phone rings and rings and rings and rings till it rings out. Nobody's answering.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going on with them, but from yesterday morning, there's no internet service.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And what part of is this a Georgetown location? Where are you?
I am in Georgetown East, which is actually I'm over in the just off of Fairbanks, across from Triple C.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me, I'm sure someone from Flow is probably listening to the show, but let me also send it to, I do have a group set up here for Flow. I'm just going to give me 1 second. Let me just take down your number and see if we can have someone call you. So you have no home internet?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. So I've sent them your details yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can get that sorted out for you.
Thanks a lot, Sandy.
All right, my dear. Thanks too. Bye-bye.
You're the best. You're the best.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, folks. 936-2626. So very good. So Flo, please reach out to that customer. He wishes to, hopefully get his internet sorted out. Honey child, we can't survive without internet now. Don't be stressing people. We need our telecoms. It's frustrating. All right. So thank you for those comments as well. And I totally agree with that caller that absolutely we are to blame for allowing the Larrys and Lindas of the world to come to the Cayman Islands and to disrespect us at all levels, right? Disrespectful to the max. And it's just shocking. And I think a lot of times the average person doesn't know, but then at the same time, there are people who know and don't care. Yeah. Let me just see. Hold on 1 second here. We do have a submission from Johan that we're going to be reading as well. Someone just sent that through to me. So give me 1 second. I'm just prepping it. And then we'll read that. But yeah, some of our people don't know what's going on, how we're being hoodwinked, what's happening. But then other people, I'm going to be honest with you, simply don't care. When I see Caymanians trying to defend Larry, but there's other people here, doing stuff. I'm like, that not a pint. Y'all know that you can have 2 or 3 or 4 simultaneous things be true at the exact same time. So yes, we have Larry and Linda are certainly not the only ones. My God, if they were, we'd be so happy. So we get it. They're not the only ones, but we are at a junction right now in their journey to remain in this country where we can do something about it. You see, when we get to the Alpers, they already have status. And the law does not currently allow the revocation of status so easily. So before Larry goes from a work permit to permanent residency and from PR to status where he is here being a permanent nuisance to the people of the Cayman Islands, I am encouraging you to step up to the plate, my fellow Caymanians, and my fellow expat friends who have sense, decency, and respect. Step up to the plate and demonstrate that you are not going to support this. You can sign the petition too. It doesn't just have to be Caymanians, you know. You can be a PR holder. You could be a status holder, and you're looking at this situation going, you know what? I live in this community. I'm part of this community, and I don't want the likes of Larry and Linda, Linda with her racial slurs, being a part of this community. Yes, you can do that. I'm just saying. And so we welcome you to likewise sign the petition. So since we shared it last week, the uptick on the petition has gone up a little bit, but really and truly that petition should have so many signatures. I shouldn't be here even begging you to sign. You should have already signed it. But I'm shocked at how many people are like, where's the petition again? I'm just like, where do y'all live? Are you living in the Cayman Islands? Are you paying attention? Oh, Lord Jesus. Come on, folks. Get it together. Now, in addition to the petition, I want to encourage you to also, put together pen and paper, type it out, send in your objections directly to the relevant PR board, because having individual letters of objection also goes a long way to showing that this is a couple that we really do not want among us, that we don't want here. The residents of Northside, where these two live, have shared numerous stories about what a pure nuisance and pest they are to the community. Okay. They do not want them here. I mean, this guy is so incredibly entitled. He grows around with an attitude like he just owns the place. And you can imagine if someone is already acting in such a deplorable manner like this while he's still a work permit holder, as Caymanians would say, dog gonna eat your supper if he gets PR. If he gets the status, dog gonna eat all of our suppers. Don't allow people to disrespect every aspect of your country, from your WRC laws and regulations to, disrespecting the blue spot, disrespecting community togetherness and community rules in Northside, making everybody's life miserable. All the way to assaulting a young man in public. Don't tolerate this kind of behavior. Come on now, step up to the plate. Good morning to Barbara. Sandra says yesterday was flow disconnecting day. Oh, well, make sure you got your bills paid. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm surprised we still getting calls then, because I always forget. I don't think I'm getting my emails. Now that you say that, I'm always forgetting to pay this flow bill. Let me see now. Did we get an email? Oh, maybe they haven't gotten to my show number yet, or maybe I paid it. I can't remember. Flow. I don't see nothing on my emails, but sometimes I feel like I'm actually not getting the emails. Anyway, I'm gonna have a look, make sure that mine is paid up, because of course, it's toll free to call in, but we at our end still have a bill that we got to make sure that we're paying. I'm not seeing a bill from Flow. What email does it come from? Anyway, I'll try to go online. But lately, sometimes I've been going online. I haven't been able to pay because it's not okay. Okay, I paid mine already, it looks like. We received your payment on the 10th and have applied it to your account number ending in. Okay, yep, already paid, honey child. Good stuff. Yeah, I know sometimes not a word of lie. As I see the email, I should do it right away, because I'm one of those people, I'll be like forgetting that that's even there. Okay, So make sure you're paying your bills. El Rey says to call that number 747-5050 to reach someone at Flow. John LaRue says you can find Larry and Linda on any given night sipping on limoncellos at Morgan's. Morgan's, West Bay Road Morgan's, Morgan Harbor. Okay, well, I mean, he does look like he's permanently drunk, so that would totally not surprise me, to be honest. Sipping on limoncellos, they better be watching that car on the road. El Rey says that he's disappointed in the petition, less than 2,000 signatures. This is just a demonstration of how, number one, Caymanians don't really pay attention to a lot of things, and also how we get agitated for all of 5 minutes, and then that's it. We lose momentum. And that's why the petition, I guess, should have started when this assault happened. Sandra says, well, who is this person? She doesn't even know what's going on. Sandra, okay. Let's take a minute to review who Larry is. Thank you for reminding us, Sandra, that yes, there are people all these months later that simply have no clue who Larry and Linda is. And maybe that's why some of you are also not signing the petition. Okay, let's reverse a little bit. Put the vehicle in reverse and go back to who these individuals are, okay? So back in, let me go back to the original article. Here we go. Back in February of 2025, we had a road rage incident involving a Tesla Cybertruck and a young man. I think the young man at the time, 17 years old. There was video footage. Let me see if we can go back to the video. Yes, here it is. It has over 74,000 views. So maybe we need to reshare that footage again. But if you need a reminder of what he did, he was upset that a young Caymanian driver cut him off going onto the east-west arterial, right? And so he got out of his vehicle. Let me put this, actually, let me see if I can download this video. Hold on. He got out of his vehicle and we saw several different videos, but he got out of his vehicle and actually assaulted the Caymanian man after his wife called the young man the N-word. And then he tried to pull the young man out of his vehicle in order to assault him. You see, thank God for people who were driving by that could take some of the footage and that could show us some of what happened. The young man had a dash cam, but unfortunately his dash cam did not allow for internal video recording. After that incident, I myself went and donated a dash cam to this young man because you know the ones that we sell here have 3 cameras: back camera, interior camera, and front camera. And in a situation like this, I can assure you that you would want and I'm going to mute it because this one probably just has music. So you see the Cybertruck there? Let's just back up the video. There's the Cybertruck that Larry drives, right? That's him. And then here he is assaulting this young man in his vehicle. And this view was just a passerby capturing some of it. But you see what he did, as you can see it right there. Oops, hold on. He's there opening the guy's door and pulling him out of the car. And look, he actually got in the car with him. Hold on. He actually sat in the car and started to assault this young man. Looked like he was trying to choke him out. And this is then where the young man got up and started to defend himself. So Larry is facing charges. Let me see. I think we had some. So this was February the 19th. I do believe that we had other, let me just double check something. I do believe that we actually had other videos and stuff as well of the assault. So those of you who don't remember what Larry did, my God, yeah. So this road rage incident was very, very upsetting for so many to see. Let me see if I can find the other footage here. Anybody else has it to share? So there's that. Right. And then let me continue to share the actual article details. So this happened in February, like I said, the 19th. And that was Wednesday, rush hour traffic. And Larry, who is the president of LGM Global Inc., which is a SECZ, that's a special economic zone company, has been identified as the alleged aggressor of an altercation that unfolded on the Newlands bypass. The incident was caught on video by a passerby, reportedly began when MacJean, who was driving a Tesla Cybertruck, was forced to brake suddenly to avoid colliding with a young Caymanian driver, believed to be around 17 years old, and who was merging into the right lane amid standstill traffic. Now, imagine if you went out there, Sandra, and beat up everybody who cut you off in traffic, right? We would all be facing assault charges. I'm pretty sure of that. So eyewitnesses say that MacJean exited the vehicle and aggressively approached the young driver, who remained seated in his car, and a physical altercation ensued, with the Caymanian driver allegedly striking MacJean in an attempt to defend himself. Coincidentally, an ambulance passing by stopped to intervene, with emergency responders stepping in to separate the two men. All of this went down, on our streets. Another eyewitness provided further details of the incident, stating that the ambulance was initially caught in traffic and came upon cars with hazard lights on, appearing as though a multi-car accident had occurred. However, upon closer inspection, there was no vehicle damage. The eyewitness reported that two individuals were outside the Cybertruck, that would be Larry and Linda, and another person from a separate vehicle ahead of the young Caymanian. As the ambulance approached, the altercation intensified, prompting paramedics to redirect traffic while attempting to calm MacJean, who reportedly refused to return to his vehicle and continued to escalate the situation. Bystanders became increasingly frustrated. So the devil's in the details, folks. It's important that we remember exactly what happened and how it happened. Just going to pull this back up on the screen. So bystanders became increasingly frustrated, with some shouting at MacJean, that's Larry, as he continued his aggressive behavior towards the young driver. Witnesses reported that the incident had a divisive Caymanian versus expat tone, as many people stopped to observe. Additionally, MacJean's wife was allegedly heard making disparaging remarks, with both MacJean and his wife reportedly threatening the young driver, claiming that they had powerful connections. And I'm going to come back to that. Listen. Listen, Linda. So that they had powerful connections. Where did I leave off? Hold on. Yes, that they had powerful connections and would ensure that he faced serious consequences. The young driver responded with some verbal exchanges, but was stunned mainly by the extreme escalation. The confrontation ultimately led to physical blows being exchanged, resulting in MacJean sustaining visible bleeding, while the young Caymanian displayed redness in his face. Eyewitnesses described the situation as completely unnecessary and shocking, with some noting that such behavior would have far graver consequences elsewhere. While no injuries were reported from the initial traffic incident, the altercation became the focal point of police involvement. Law enforcement arrived, took statements, and attempted to calm the situation, though some witnesses questioned whether any meaningful legal action would be taken. An off-duty policewoman on the scene was praised for her professionalism in handling the volatile situation. But do remember that at the time, the RCIPS also really mishandled the situation, because the only person that they initially arrested was actually the young man and not Larry. Well, why on earth would that be? Because our police officers have, some of them, innate prejudice themselves. So they see a white man get a little lick on his face and he's bleeding, and they automatically assume that the aggressor would have been the young Caymanian young man and not Larry. And they got it wrong, right? So the police commissioner had to calm y'all down a little bit. Our officers doing the best that they can. They're investigating, blah, blah, blah. Well, they completely got it wrong. Give me one quick second here. I'm going to just take a quick break before we continue, reminding you of the facts of this story. Honey child.
The Spring Labour Force and Quality of Life surveys conducted by the Economics and Statistics Office begin Sunday, April 26th. The Labour Force survey collects information on employment and unemployment in the Cayman Islands, while the Quality of Life survey gathers feedback on well-being, financial security, community belonging, and overall life satisfaction. Trained interviewers with official ESOID cards will visit randomly selected households. All interviews are confidential under the Statistics Act, and no individual information will be published. For details, call the ESO hotline at 5163329.
All right, folks, we are back. So the RCAPS really misstepped in this situation. So we've covered it numerous times. There was a public protest on West Bay Road in relation to this. And, lots of people obviously very upset by the behavior that Larry and Linda exhibited. So now is your chance, folks. If you agree with what this 72-year-old Larry McGean did to a 17-year-old, right? Larry at the time in 2025 was 72. The young driver is 17. He was 17 at the time. If those of you agree with this type of behavior, this road rage on our public roads, then maybe that's why you've not signed the petition yet. But if you do not agree, just trying to find the other stories here to give you more of an update, then you need to speak up and you need to sign the petition. So then after the police engage in their behavior where they totally mishandled it, arrested the wrong person, later on they came and they're like, oh, we're looking for eyewitnesses. Here's the crazy part, right? They actually had the opportunity because one gentleman, we saw one of the videos there where basically there was a young man who said, listen, I saw the whole thing. I can tell you guys what happened. And the police were not interested in taking his statement and speaking with him. So we went from this incident happening in February 2025. It took them until August of 2025 to then lay charges. And they decided to charge both the young man and Larry, 72-year-old Larry. And here's the crazy part. They charged the young man, 17 years old, with inconsiderate driving, something that we have never heard of before. I certainly, as much as I sit in court, I have never on a court list, and this has been years now, I've never seen a charge of inconsiderate driving ever. I had to look it up. I didn't even know what is inconsiderate driving. It's ludicrous. But it's one of those things where they wanted to charge both individuals. So pretty much they just found anything on the books that they could charge him with. Inconsiderate driving could be like you flipping somebody off in traffic. Like, it's just so stupid. But there you go. So they charged a young man with inconsiderate driving. His matter has already been dealt with. I think that they put some kind of, I don't know, some thing on his some what do they call it, violation or something on his record, and that falls away when he turns 18 and he will not have a criminal record. Larry, on the other hand, has actually been charged with I want to say, hold on, let me get the correct charge. Some form of, I think maybe common assault. Mind you, it should be, in my opinion, more than that, but there you go. Yes. So McGean has been charged with common assault. And so common assault, ridiculous charge. It should have been more serious than that, but here we are. And someone, yes, honey child, we can come to that here in a second. But let's talk about the details now of this, right? And I am going to come back to this point that she says at the scene that someone said so much for child abuse laws. Let me just say this much, because this is really, really crazy. Someone says, what about the riffraff at the West Bay Block? He has status. And this is what I'm telling you. Don't let do not let Larry get to status, because then y'all going to realize exactly, you know, how difficult it is for them to do anything with the current laws in place when it comes to status holders. So give me 1 second. So remember when I just said to you that the wife basically said, okay, hold on 1 second. The wife basically says, oh, they know people. Yeah. Well, yeah, they know people, all right. Because they believe that they are in a position to actually circumvent the law. Now, to me, this is wild. This is crazy. But it says a lot about who they are. When you get in an altercation, when you get in a situation, and your get out of jail card is that you know someone, right? That says a lot about your mentality. You're on the wrong side of the law, Bobo. You're assaulting someone in a public space. People recording, they're listening, they're seeing the whole thing. Huh? And all of a sudden, well, you better not blinkety blink with us because, you know, we know people. We know important people. You don't know who we are. Excuse me? Who you be? Who you is? Who your mama is? Who your papa is? Your Neville Spring is buried where? Certainly not Georgetown, East End, West Bay, Savannah, not even Cayman Brac or Little Cayman. So who are you? I find it so abhorrent when people say that. Don't you know who I am? No, I don't know who you are. And more importantly, does it matter? Do we care who you are? The laws are there to protect all good people, all good citizens, all good residents, even visitors to our island. You being someone important in your head does not mean jack-ish to me, right? So I don't really know who they are and who they think they are, but they certainly came with that attitude as they were overheard at the scene making those types of comments. Now, this has raised concerns because I'm going to read Johan's statement here that he published on another platform, because I think that there's some merit to believe that Larry and Linda believe they are so connected that the laws do not apply to them. And so therefore, they will be trying to circumvent the laws and, you know, basically do whatever they want and however they want. And that's not going to work. Not on our watch. We're not going to sit back and allow this to happen. Okay? So get to signing that petition if you haven't already. And I hope to God that WRC and the respective board are paying close attention to why Larry should not be granted PR. Okay? All right. So let's get to this comment here. Thank you so much. Morning, Sophia. Good morning to Miss Anita. Miss Anita says, good morning, Sandy. I wonder if there's been any update on the various issues that you've reported in regards to the staff some time ago at Pedro St. James. Good question. Not on topic this morning, but I did follow up maybe 3-4 weeks ago, and I was told that things are coming to come. So, you know, obviously he was put on leave, so that was an important first step, but we are aware that the investigation continues. Listen, Miss Anita, it was such a hot mess there. I'll be honest with you that I wouldn't doubt that their investigation is finding out a lot and they're going really, really deep. I hope that is what is taking them so much time. But don't worry, we haven't forgotten about it. We can keep an eye on all these things. All right. So John LaRue says, based on that alone, should disqualify him for PR. Listen, this dude, he should be disqualified a long time ago. All right, Tweenie Foss says those other Caymanians couldn't jump in for their fellow national. You know, we didn't see the footage of the EMT who assisted and tried to pull them apart. So eventually that happened. But yeah, it does beg a lot of questions. Imagine the video got 74,000 views. Where are the numbers for the petition? What happened to Anna? Melody, our Caymanians, boy, they child, don't get me started. They get upset for 2 seconds and still don't do nothing. Caymanians are some of them. When people like this reminds me now of Charles Whitaker. Where's Charles, by the way? Charles been keeping a low profile. When I'm reminded by someone like Charles that Caymanians are spineless, he often uses that term to describe us. Not trying to insult our people, but sometimes the truth hurts a lot. So we are oftentimes all talk and no bite, all bark and no bite. That's the Caymanians. Worse than some of these little chihuahuas around the place. Yappity, yappy, yap, 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 yap. And don't do nothing. Sign the bloody petition already. You don't got to do nothing. You don't have to pay nothing. Just log on and sign it. It just says that I support. Yeah? So Anthony says 2,000 signatures is 7.5% of the population. That's still pretty good. Not good enough for what we're talking about. Good morning, Sarah. Sarah says 17 years old. He doesn't have much road experience. Maybe have a few where new license holders have to have a P plate, so other road users know to give them extra space. Listen, when you see the young kid, he looks fresh and young. Little common sense from Larry could have. Sarah, how many times we don't get cut off in traffic like all the time? The most I do is cuss them out and I'm mumbling to myself because there's nobody else in the car with me. Right? You think I'm actually going to cut them off, get out of my car, jump in their car, assault them, and then try to pull them out of their car to continue to beat them? Imagine if this young man did not have, a little bit of fight in him, what Larry would have done to him. Y'all need to think about this. How many of you as parents don't have 17-year-old children, driving to school, getting to learn the ropes a little bit on the roadway? It's ridiculous. John LaRue says Donnie Smith did it all the time. I cussed him out. Pathetic. Do you know who I am? Was classic out of his mouth. Lord have mercy. Damien says when people use the phrase, don't you know who I am? It generally stems from entitlement, insecurity, or demand for status. That's why we don't need to give him anymore. When you feel disconnected and don't know who you are, it usually points to identity confusion, extreme stress, and a lack of self-awareness, or intimidation. Right? Because a lot of people throw around that phrase, don't you know who I am? Don't you know who my daddy is, my mama, and whatever, because they're trying to intimidate you. Well, nobody not intimidated by who you know, Larry and Linda. Honey, child, please. Debbie says, how well I know. Mary can attest. Keyboard warriors. That's why y'all love certain platforms, because you can go over there and just comment in the section and be anonymous. They don't even comment when their name is linked to it, right? So on that note, let's give Johan a shout out. He put his name to this one on, this is posted on CNS. He made sure he signed his name. And here we go. He says, Caymanians, including those on the relevant boards, all MPs and cabinet members need to speak with a loud and united voice by their actions. Vote no, because Larry has to go. Our islands do not need persons like Lawrence Larry McGee and his wife being granted a work permit, permanent residency, or Caymanian status. Their actions, attitude, and contempt for private property and their lust for violence is there for all to see. They went into the victim's vehicle and assaulted the young Caymanian. It's all captured on video footage. This is all the evidence required. The footage is in wide circulation and used in the press. If Larry and his wife are granted permission to stay in this country and rewarded with PR, the system has failed all law-abiding Caymanians. I would say all law-abiding people, Caymanians and others as well. this is an opportunity for the system to draw a line in the sand. It is important that we help all persons that come to Cayman to understand that we will not tolerate such heinous or thuggish behavior from any visitors, or in this case, work permit holders as well. We have enough of our own homegrown problems, and we do not need to import and reward thugs, con men, and bigots that are desperate to live, work, play, or enjoy the privilege of a work permit, permanent residency, and ultimately Caymanian status. Regards, Johan Moxham. I couldn't agree more. What a hot mess. We have another one that has come in here. Give me one quick on WhatsApp. And I think this one is also a very interesting and fair point, fair commentary. So this observer makes the following comment. They say, good morning, Sandy. Well, from you, apply late for PR, automatically the board should not even look at the application. That should be reason enough for it to be turned down. Now, here's the thing. Remember when she says that they have connections, right? So the board could very well turn it down, but there are some people who believe that the board will turn it down, and then our cabinet, which they better not even, our cabinet will then go about trying to permit this application to go through. I, for one, do not believe that we have, as part of this NCFC government, we have people who'd be so light in the head. I'm just saying. I don't think that they're going to make that kind of move. The board has every right to turn it down, given the fact that the application was not even submitted within the required time, and this man was actually here illegally for what appears to be months. And so cabinet should refuse to hear this application. Don't let the people of Cayman Islands second guess what it is that you do, cabinet. Don't even touch this application. Sarah says, agree 100%. Larry equals road rage. Blisso Powell says, some Caymanians bark with no bite, but we have those few enough not run into yet. It won't need the police, more like forensic. Kiss my teeth. His parents should have taken Larry to civil court. Now, aisle 2025, speaking of that, I do believe that there is some sort of litigation that is ongoing in relation to that. I don't necessarily have all the details. I'm just trying to find a family member's number. But anyway, I don't necessarily have all of the details, but I do know that they at least were talking to legal counsel. And so, yes, they have a very good, on the face of it, as we say in law, a good prima facie case for a civil action as well. So I don't know exactly where that is, but they certainly have a very good case that they could pursue. Okay, I'm trying to find a number because I could try to get an update and kind of where that is. I'll see if I can find a contact and get some more information in relation to that. But absolutely, that's a civil case right there. Richard, good morning, sir. Parsons joining us from Round Rock, Texas, says adult beating up a minor. Can you imagine? My God. And this is why, I reflected on the situation and said, oh my God, what if this is my daughter? Geez, I'm peace. I couldn't even imagine. But let me say this much. You try to teach your children to be good law-abiding citizens. So for the most part, you don't want to teach your children how to fight. But you've got to teach your children how to defend themselves, because you never know when they might find themselves up against a Linda or Larry. And if they don't know how to give as good as they can take, that young man, he would have been the one who was bloodied and whatever. Not that Larry didn't try, but that young man, he son of the soil, he probably, used to getting in a little rumble and tumbling in the backyard. So he wasn't no softer. He's like, no, you gonna hit me, I gotta thump you back. And he thumped him. And Larry couldn't even, it's amazing what a coward. He goes and picks a fight with a child, basically. And then the child ends up beating him up. Good for him, far as I'm concerned. Ridiculous. Anyway, I'm going to try and find the details about Larry. All right. So we got another astute person listening to the program today, and they have the following comment to make, which made me chuckle, but it's also a very fair point, I do believe. So this person says, this is a good question that I think needs to be answered. Sandy, Larry is still getting work permits at age 72. I thought it was 65 and you're gone. Well, there is no fixed, retirement age now, right? But it is interesting that at 72 years old, he's still applying for work permit. But you see, this is where this whole story with his permit, even that, as one of the callers said, was not properly vetted, right? You see, you come into the economic zone, you get certain concessions. And you don't even have to advertise work permits when you're in the economic zone, right? That's one of the concessions that you get. And this is kind of a dangerous situation, because I feel like because there's no advertisement requirement, this is just a rubber stamping exercise. And no one is truly reviewing these applications, even in the zone. Because there's no competition. So he just puts in his work permit, and he could be 105 and talking about he's somebody's assistant. Who's assistant? The man is a liar. He is part owner of the company. My God. No wonder they think we're so stupid, because y'all allowed this man to stay here for 8 years, lying on a permit and defrauding government and not paying government the respective fees that he should have been paying. No wonder they feel entitled. Talking about they know people. Blissful Powell says, I agree that we as Caymanians have no unity. This is why we are dealt with this way. SMFH, hurtful. Shaka Zulu says, arguably, it seems as though the only Caymanians willing to challenge public status quo have a spine seems to be the Caymanian criminals, unfortunately. No, Shaka, please don't say that. We challenge things right here every day, and we're no criminals. So no, we're not gonna give the criminals all of that now. Honey child, no. Oh, it's a hot mess. So real-time update, Miss Anita. I've gotten a response that we're still awaiting the report from the auditors. To my understanding, it is close to being completed. So make them take their time, because when all the ish comes out, there should be, no concerns that, they got it wrong, they didn't do a proper investigation, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, Lord, have mercy, more bad drivers around the place. Okay. All righty. So sign the petition if you have not already. I want to encourage you now to please do so. Yep. Give me 1 second here. Let me just see what else we've got. We're going to end on time because I've got quite a full day today. And I am waiting on an emergency hearing request. Let me just check my emails this morning. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Let me just message and see if there's any updates. I'm going to address something, a miniature FAFO segment at 9:30. So those of you in radio, feel free to join us. You're most welcome, Miss Anita. Feel free to join us on that segment. I'm going to be very brief about it though, because there comes a point in time when talking is done. Okay. And we're gonna, but I need to update you guys a little bit on where we are with that. All right. Big shout out to Lavana this morning. She is celebrating her 24th anniversary with Cayman Airways. Wow, 24 years with her national carrier. Big shout out to Lavana this morning. We will certainly be posting something on social media to congratulate her on that milestone. So this week we should have the Minister of Education on Thursday, the Honorable Ralston Friday, my apologies, the Honorable Ralston Anglin. We're trying to get some details on Cayman Prep. We have our story in relation to that ready to go, and disappointed in kind of where they are. All right, so we're now officially off of radio. So let me bring y'all closer. Come closer to the class. Come to the top of the class, folks, because the link for the petition. Hold on one second. Let me get it again. Still, I can send out a quick WhatsApp message. Still haven't signed the petition for how old? Larry was 72 at the time, so now he's probably at least 73-year-old Larry to go. Have a look at this video. And there were other videos. I'll try and see if I can find those. But yes, please sign the petition. Let me just get the link again. Please sign the petition if you have not done so already. Okay. And the petition link I'm going to put in the chat so that hopefully you guys can just click on it. All right. So just click on that link, folks. Go ahead and sign the petition. Miss Lucille says, Sandy, I do not care what no one say. The parent of the young man must be flying with the wings of an angel. I'm sorry. I think the man know the parents that they would not come for him. Boy. I don't know what to say, Miss Lucille. I don't think that he knew that. But unfortunately, it's just a sad situation that he would try that, because somebody would get a box. Somebody would get a box, and I'm talking about I'm not talking about the ungifting kind of box. But then again, here's the problem: is you don't want to get yourself in trouble for the likes of Larry, because then you would be the one that the police can arrest and be hauling off to jail. So sometimes you have to know how to deal with people at a particular level, right? So speaking of dealing with people at a particular level, I do want to thank all of the listeners to this program who have been messaging me and giving me details of what Carrie Whitaker has been up to. It is really an unfortunate situation because I am here to tell you that I'm maintaining my composure as much as I possibly can, right? When someone does something and says things about you that is so disturbing and so untrue, that if they were in front of you and actually said it, that you would punch them in their fucking face. That's how I feel about Carrie Whitaker. But you see, she is a coward. She would never walk up to me and say the things that she feels comfortable enough saying on social media. And this is the problem now with social media, giving every Tom, Dick, and Carrie a platform where they think they can get on there and say just about anything that they want about anyone. And the truth, unfortunately, is not something that matters to them. This woman lies through her teeth about people and just completely fabricates stories on a regular basis. Right? And she doesn't realize that she's going to be held accountable for her behavior. Trust and believe me. So whilst I am tempted, right, to meet her at her level, I am not going to do so. Because you see, I rely on the fact that obviously you guys have a lot of sense. And that you have to be able to pick sense from nonsense and that y'all know the truth. Okay? I'm no convict. The link it was just posted there, Miss Sue. I'm not someone who has to go around making up absolutely abhorrent, disgusting things about people to try and make myself look good. The things that Carrie has said about, I have to give people blowjobs essentially, and she's not saying it in that nice of a way, in order to be where I am today is insulting to me because I've worked hard to get here, unlike you. I've not stolen from anyone. I'm not a thief, Carrie, unlike you. I'm not a liar. I'm not a disgusting person like you that would even say something like that with no basis or foundation in truth whatsoever. So according to her, I am where I am in life because I have given people blowjobs. Like, seriously, woman, what the hell is wrong with you? But you see, what I've come to realize in life is that when people have nothing, literally nothing. They ain't got no chick, no child. Even her husband, he's reformed now. Thank God for that. Former convict for very serious offenses. Not even him want anything to do with her. She's a very miserable and unhappy person. And that is so sad for her. But that does not give you the right to go out there lying on people and disparaging people's character and try to bring them down in the eyes of people in the community. So you guys heard on Monday my warnings to her, and obviously she has chosen to ignore said warnings. But let me give you all a little clue now, because you know that auntie don't play, right? I am a woman of my word, in more ways than one. And I can tell you that she might think that I was joking and playing around with her on Monday, but I'm going to show you evidence now that the court filings have been done. Carrie, I am coming for you. Whatever bucket you have that you shitting in Cayman Brack will be mine. You're not getting away with this. You think you can do this and then you backtrack like how you did with Dan Scott and you issue a little fake apology and then you keep going with other people? That's not how this is going to go. Here's the official court case right here. It has been filed and I'm coming for you. I can take your toilet seat if I have to. I'm not your companion. I'm not your friend. I'm not your acquaintance. Quite frankly, despite what you think, I am also not your enemy, but you are trying me at a very different level. You see, you have a reputation that's already in the gutter, so you don't care. Yeah? You have no decency about you. The number of people that have responded and reached out to me, because I don't watch her foolishness, but the number of people that have reached out to me, I hope you know that's all going into the evidence bundle, because every bit of that will work against you. And no apology is going to suffice. You can apologize from now till Jesus returns, and that's not going to help you. I am going all the way through to damages. I will get awarded damages, and I'm going to want my damages. I know right now that your husband, Kenny, is actually the one who pays the mortgage on what you have left of a house. Although he has moved out, I will be taking your house. I'll take it and finish paying the mortgages, and you and your stinking cats are going to get the fuck out of the house. Why this woman keeps trifling with me and playing around with me like she and I are companions, only God knows. You are a vile and absolutely disgusting woman. Lay waiting for me? I will get on a plane today and go to Cayman Brack and dare her to lay wait for me, because she is a coward. She's the very definition of what being a coward is. And we've seen it on multiple examples. It is easy to get behind a camera and get on a platform and say such disgusting things about people. But you're not going to do it to me. Okay? I'm a wife. More importantly, I'm a mother. I have a reputation, unlike you, that I care about and that I will defend in a court of law. You not got no reputation, you thief, you liar, you abuser. You have nothing to lose. And when someone has nothing to lose, you can't play with them because they will go to the edge of the cliff and push you over the cliff. But you're not pushing me, girl. I get you have nothing in life. How sad. What a sad indictment on you. Going around begging people to buy you cat food. You can't even pay your electricity bill. Your bipolar medication that you better get back on, you can't even afford. Go apply for NAU. That's what they're there for. They're there to help you with these sorts of things. Right? Poor Nicholas DaCosta has done so much to help you. And I hear from those brackers, all you do is go around cussing this man and trying to do horrible by him. You need to get your life together. Go get on your knees and start praying to the good Lord to inject some common sense and decency into the remainder of your life. Because the first 59, 60 years has been a dismal failure. That this is what happens, and we need to have a come into Jesus moment. Some of our Caymanians, let's forget about Larry and Linda for a minute. Some of our Caymanians are our own worst enemy. All they do is sit down and begrudge people. Oh, well, she got all these thousands of followers. She got hundreds of people watching her show. I have to emulate her. And you're not emulating me, girl. Your feet cannot step in my shoes no day of the week. Don't even try. You're wasting your time. You know why? Not because I'm better than anybody else. Not because I've done something that other people cannot do. Because you lack the moral fiber in your very being, your very essence is disgusting and corrupt. You're not a genuine person. That's why you can't prosper in life. That's why you are where you are, hiding out in Cayman Brack. Behind a camera, saying the most ridiculous, disgusting things about other people. She's come for civil servants, right? She's come for government ministers and government officials. And now she thinks she can come for me? Well, Dan Scott showed you how it's done. And I'm going to show you how it's done, but I'm going to go a step further than Dan Scott. Because Dan Scott don't want your little inky-dinky cat urine-filled house, right? He just wanted to stop you. Well, I'm going to teach you part 2 lesson. I'm going to stop you in your tracks. I'm waiting today for the court listing officer to get back to me for the emergency hearing. I'm going to stop you in your tracks. I'm going to go further and go to damages. You will fucking pay me. And if I have to chase you to your grave for whatever the judgment amount is going to be, believe me when I tell you, I'm not going to stop. You got to learn one way or the other. My Aunt Lauder used to say, you head hard, you got to learn. Your head is tough, like that Cayman Brack coconut, but you got to learn one way or the other. Keep talking about me. Keep lying on me. Keep defaming my character, because every single time you do so, Al, let me call you back. I haven't forgotten you, but I'm still on radio.
Oh, okay. I can come to Savannah if you want. Okay.
Okay. I'll let you know because I'm coming to town anyway. So I'll walk with it today.
Okay. Bye.
All right, darling. You see, customers, something that you don't know nothing about. Good customers who respect me and all of the businesses that I have, because I provide good products and I provide good customer service, whether it's CMR, whether it's Roque, right? Whatever it is that I do to a professional standard. You don't know nothing about that. That's why you are where you are. You are your own worst enemy. And the day that you recognize that and you adjust your attitude, but you can't help, I've come to the conclusion that it's like you can't help yourself. You are hell bent on destroying your own life, but what you're not going to do is in the process, you are not going to destroy other people's lives. So I'm sitting here today waiting on the listing manager from the court's office to simply tell me when I will be getting an emergency hearing in front of a judge, and I'm going to deal with you. So thank you to all of the amazing people who have reached out and who have said, oh my God, Sandy, this woman is talking about you, whatever. Don't worry, honey child. I'm handling my business. I stand on business and I am handling it, okay? And she will be dealt with. Not in the way that she hopes, because I'm sure she would like me to come to Cayman Brac and beat her up like how that Spanish woman did in the bar when she was shooting off in the mouth to her. But we're not going to do that, you see, because that's what she wants. I have something to be concerned about, okay? I have everything to lose because I have an amazing family. I own properties. I have businesses that I'm involved in. You know, CMR just got its first headquarters. All this kind of stuff is going on for us. So we're not going to let the likes of somebody like her try and come and destroy it just because of bad-mindedness and dirty, nasty, stinking ways. You will not lie on me. You will not defame my character without the legal response that is coming your way. And this was the email that I got yesterday. The matter has been presented to the Honorable Judge for review and consideration. Once confirmed, I will advise. So I'm just waiting. I am simply here waiting today. I will go about doing all my other commitments, right? Have an important interview this morning with a significant interview that we have lined up. You see, people will come on this platform. World, regional, respected people. Who she got over there talking to her? Nobody. Right? And there's a reason for that. Because nobody respects you. When you can sit down with your vulgarity and go on the way that you do, no one respects you. So folks, we're going to keep it above board. I don't have any time for this woman from the perspective that I'm not going to be sitting here indulging in her ridiculous behavior. But I just wanted you all to know that, because a lot of you like, Sandy, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're going to make this one? No, I'm not going to make her lie on me. I'm not going to make her defame me. And I'm not going to make her disrespect me. It is being handled. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. I shouldn't even call and say this, but you remember one time when I had called in on your show that she told me, mocking me, oh, you're not so smart until you prove that you're smart and sound like you know there about the business. No, you see, and I thought I won't get back on and tell her that people tell me to even disgrace yourself.
Exactly.
Because, okay, at least I mightn't be so smart, but my mouth not getting me in trouble.
That's right.
In my hands, not sending me to jail.
Aye.
So who is the smartest? Me or her?
Exactly.
Something to her. I don't watch her. But every now and then when I on my thing, she pops up then talking about and something to her. And if she not on something, I am on it because you could see the pupil of her eyes. She is on some type, God forbid, I don't know what she on, and then she got that and laughing. You could watch her action. Something to her. She mental. She need help. And everybody tell me, don't disgrace yourself with her. But I don't rejoice on people things, but put it on her because she shouldn't be saying things that she can't prove, and she is the smart one. Well, now she's her mouth.
Exactly.
Being so smart.
Yeah.
Because if she was smart, you wouldn't have to do it because you can't say things about people that you approve.
Yeah, and I mean, Miss Shalma, it is so shocking that you could say those types of things about someone and knowing that it's completely fabricated.
And I tell you, grudge, you don't have to do people nothing. You only got to have one draws more in some people, and they will go to any extreme to try to scandal you. And when I say things, people think that I'm hateful, and how people in this world is hateful and mad, prideful. And some people will kill you for simple things. And
you can imagine.
They're working hard, and they don't know. And that's what my mother used to teach us: do not judge people for what they have.
Exactly.
How they get it.
Exactly.
You can be anything you want in this world, and you can be nothing if you want. My mother used to teach us that.
Yes.
I remember her every day. She teach good morals in us, but it was for us to take it.
Exactly.
And if you live in glass house, don't throw stones. Don't rejoice on people, children, especially if you have children. Can I wanna reach you yet? Not pass by. My mother used to preach that to us. I remember her. She's in Tampa Graveyard, but I remember Novia Sayun Bush every day when I seen her things. But like I say, do what you gotta do and do make up it on. And then there's people, that's like I tell people, there's people that know you that won't believe what she said, but there's idiots that I heard that would take it, hook, bait, line, and run with it and believe it too.
Exactly. And that is precisely why.
And she Miss Sarah must say, calling out my name, well, big eye paw, some, because she's ugly, she's pretty like sin, but she's an ugly looking something, so take that. Push it to the max and do whatever you gotta do. I don't feel sorry for the big mouth. She's seen out who's smart. Me or her.
Yeah, we're not even gonna get into her looks and all this kind of stuff because we got, like I said, we can deal with her when it comes to the law. Yeah. Because the law gonna handle her. The law gonna handle her.
She got in this and that and can't even get a job in her own country. She should be ashamed herself.
Yeah, she can't get one because of this type of thing. This is why she can't get none.
Because what should be at the same about government about all this money and that lies. So you hear France tell her that they did war and that, and she's a liar. She likes to make that thing. She's one that says things and believe it herself.
That's true. That is true. So true.
Yeah. Something to her. She needs help, poor thing.
Yeah. Thank you, my darling. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Do worry about her.
Yeah.
Just do way.
Yes, ma'am. This is the sad part, folks. I'm not here to try to disparage this woman. I'm here to just tell y'all the truth. Even people yesterday reaching out to me, Miss, I have a story to tell about this one. So many people have a story to tell. This is the thing with her. She has been destructive. And the reason why she's talking about she can't get a job in her own country, she is the reason why. She is her own worst enemy. Nobody is going out there purposely not hiring Carrie, but for her actions, right? It is her behavior. And you know what is so ironic and so funny? Let me tell you something, right? Life has a way of bringing things full circle to you. If you can believe that yesterday, as I was filing my court papers, right? Listen to this now. As I am filing my court papers, I happened to speak to a particular lawyer. And they said, Sandy, something, whatever. And I said, I am now dealing with, hold on one second. I said, I'm now dealing with a situation with the courts. They found some papers and they asked me what? And I said, this woman, Carrie Whitaker from Cayman. They said, what? Say that name again? She had actually reached out to them to do some work for her. Oh, I'll help you market your company, blah, blah, blah. They said, what is this all about? And I give them, they said, don't say nothing more. They were about to send her a contract. This is not a word of lie. Now that contract is gone because of what she is doing to me and how she's attacking me. And this professional attorney at law had no idea. And ironically, our paths crossed yesterday, where they got to see my paper, talk about my paperwork being submitted. And now they're pulling that. They're not going to be sending her no contract. Perfect example of how she destroys herself. She has nobody to blame for the predicament that she is in but herself. Good morning, caller.
Yeah, good morning, Cheryl.
Good morning, baby. What's going on?
Cheryl, what goes around comes around. When people do things or say things about you, you just leave them to God because you will get your revenge one day. And Sandy, please do not leave those cats. I want the cat then. Regardless how sick they
Well,
are.
you'll have to come to Cayman Brack when I board up the house. You can come to Cayman Brack and get them. Okay.
Yeah,
All
I'll
right.
go with you and get the cats. I don't gonna make them cash for me.
No problem.
All
right, darling.
Okay,
yeah, and listen, when you're confronted with this level of evil and this level of a disgusting individual, let me be very, very clear, right? I have to maintain my cool and my composure. Listen very carefully to me. I'm going to say it again. I am very calm and composed. I have all of my court documents filed and together. Paid hundreds of dollars yesterday, over $500 to get everything filed and submitted. Multiple affidavits. My summons, my 2 affidavits, my statement of claims. Everything is properly submitted, signed and sealed and ready to be delivered. I'm just waiting on the date that the court has assigned to me of when we can start this process and deal with her. And it's not going away. There's no amount of apologies in this world that can make up for the disgusting things that this woman has had to say about me. I can't even share these with you because it would turn your stomach and is so utterly disgusting. But ultimately, morning, Liana, ultimately she is trying to what's the word that I'm looking for? Take away from all of my hard work. You don't get to do that with lies, right? If it was true, that would be one thing. But like the judge told you during the hearing with Dan Scott, you don't forget that you sent me the link and I was sitting there listening. You cannot go around telling lies on people. And she's incapable of learning. So she thinks that I am trifling with her and that I'm going to sit back and allow her to make up and fabricate multiple stories about me, and I'm going to sit down and take it. Not today, Bobo. Not today, DTD. It's not going to happen. You understand me? It's not happening. I will deal with you in the right way, which is through the legal system. As much as I would love to get, just like Nala did, may he rest in peace, get on a flight and come Cayman Brack and come to your door to punch you in your expletive eye. You wouldn't come out to him because you're a coward, like I said, right? I'm not going to do that. I am going to rise above the fray so that people can understand that at the end of the day, you have to stand on your business. Don't let people disrespect you. Do what you need to do. Stand tall and firm in your position because the truth will always set you free. And I always have that on my side, the truth. Nobody can call me a liar or a thief, because I've not done any of those things. You, on the other hand, have a conviction. You are a liar. You are a thief. And that has been proven in a court of law. This person says Carrie is not in your league, but you must take her to the legal limit. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We can do it. We taking her to the legal limit. Don't worry about that. We got it. And you see, she has no defense because the only defense to defamation is the truth. And nothing that this woman has said about me is actually true. This is the part that is so disturbing. So, Elray, I see your comments. Don't try and cast me in no league with her because I speak the truth. I don't sit here lying on people and fabricating things. She does. And as Michelma said, Michelma has a point when she said she believes her own lies. Oh, there's no two ways about it. She is so delusional that the way that you hear her speak with such conviction, if you didn't have better sense, you would actually believe that she is telling the truth. But she isn't. And so, that little thing called the truth is important. Okay, they're still waiting on the judge who's reviewing the matter. Thank you so much. Let me just respond. But don't worry. We're dealing with it. Okay, so again, thank you to all of you who reached out. I kept getting messages yesterday, and I was very, very calm because I was so busy getting all the documents uploaded to the system, paying all the respective fees and everything else. And, you know, we about our business. That's what we're about. Okay. So give me 1 second. Hello, good morning. Hi, morning. How are you?
Good morning. I have a delivery from Fort Bacuada.
Yes, sir. I'm going to let you in when you go to the kitchen, which is just right there on the right. Do you mind taking out the empty bottle out of the little water machine for me?
Okay.
Thank you so much. He gonna let the door close on him. I might have to open it again for him. Unless he's just delivering one bottle. Okay. All right. Yeah, you see, we got things going on. One thing I know for sure, right? My Aunt Lottie used to say this all the time. You know, when your kids, sometimes when your seniors say something to you, you don't always understand what they mean. But she used to say to me all the time that idle hands are the devil's playground, right? And that is so true. When you have nothing going on in your life, you don't have no husband that, you know, divorced and you don't want nothing to do with you. You don't have no children. You don't have no grandchildren. You're just sitting there all day long, getting in your head, right? And that creates problems. And enough people should get busy, right? There's some days that I feel like I even forget to go to the bathroom, how busy I am. I have things going on. I am being productive, right? I've got multiple businesses. I got my client work to do. In between, I'm doing research. Today's the 27th. My school assignment is due tomorrow. So I got homework to do for school. I'm studying. I have family time. I'm doing stuff with my daughter. Idleness. Pure idleness makes you sit down and just focus on people, get jealous about what people are doing when you don't even know half of what people are doing. Yes, some of you might think, oh, Auntie has accomplished something in life, whatever, but it's come through hard work. It's not come through any shortcuts, right? I'm 52 years old. Trust me, no shortcuts were taken. It took dedication. It took consistency. It took hard work. Every single day we have this show. And if I'm not on vacation, I'm showing up here. Sometimes my sinuses bother me. I can barely talk. I'm sick, whatever. I am here, right? That takes dedication. My clients see through the deliverables that they get, my work ethic, my work ethos. That is not something that somebody else can give you. You either have it or you don't have it. And at the end of the day, you should not begrudge anybody who has worked hard to get where they have gotten in life. Because you could have done the same thing if you were interested in doing it. Instead of sitting down being idle and talking pure foolishness about people. This person says Carrie is a disgusting person and needs to pay for what she said about you, Sandy. She's a mental person, but knows everything she's saying and is wrong. You should have heard me listening to her on Monday afternoon on replay and me cursing her. My husband was like, who are you talking to? I told him what that no good Carrie had said about you. She needs to go back to jail. Only Darlene over there with her most days. Who the hell's Darlene? I don't even know who Darlene is. But Darlene McKenzie watches her show. Yeah, somebody told me that yesterday. That's fine. That, nobody no business with that. But what I do know is y'all can see the outcome of this case. Right? Don't worry about that. All right. So yeah, we got to deal with the situation, and it's well in hand. We're just waiting this morning now to hear from the court. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I just wanted to give you all an update, and as we go through this process, trust me, it will be reported on. I encourage any and everybody. Like, I'm so happy when I see Caymanians doing amazing and wonderful things in their life, right? Genuinely happy, because we have so many odds that are stacked against us. But when you are the reason why you can't get nowhere in life, well, who can feel sorry for you? Nobody can feel sorry for you. When you're the one who messes up your own life, do better. But listen, at my age, I've come to realize that some people are not ever going to do any better. There's no hope for them. And I hate to say that because, my God, like, there's no hope. Like, who says that, right? But they've proven 59 years and you not got no job. You not got no chick, no child, no nothing because of your own behavior, right? Business after business has been used to steal from people. Have been used to abuse people. And you think just because you can get on a platform and lambast, expats, that somehow that's going to win you favor with other people in this community? No. I don't stand with nobody who does wrong. And quite frankly, I don't care if you're a Caymanian or an expat. You can't be a Caymanian and do wrong against other people just because they're expats and think. I gotta show you one, but I need to remove the lady's name. Hold on. That I'm going to support you just because, they're an expat. No. Expats don't deserve to be mistreated just because they're an expat if they haven't done anything wrong. So, I've never supported her in her behavior, in her nonsense, and she's known that. If you're in the right on a situation, I got your back. But if you're not, no, I'm not supporting that. But some people are just, I don't even know. I, honest to God, don't even know what to say. I'm just so disappointed in some of us as a people. Right? Y'all you have too much time on your hands. And that is a sad indictment. But like I said, the law will now deal with her. Everything is in play and ready to go. I'm not going to be wasting no more time. I have too many important issues that we, as the CMR community, as the Caymanian community, are here talking about. Blissful Powell says never really took her serious, just seemed that she'd be acting out. But to be degrading and slandering your name, now she needs to be addressed. She can't do that. Hurtful. When I tell you that you see, this is the thing, right? People can insult you, Blissful Powell, and others in different ways, right? This has got to be one of the greatest insults, the way in which she says it and what she actually says. Yeah. Is just shocking that someone could just make this stuff up. When you know that you have never, there is nobody walking this earth right now can say that they've had any sexual relations with me because I'm trying to get a contract, a government contract, private sector contract, nothing. I have earned everything on my own merit. And what she also said, there's a secondary implication in there, right? Because CMR started after I was in a committed relationship with my current husband and got married. So there's also an implication in there that I have been committing adultery on my husband in order to get business. You know how insulting that is? When you stand in principle on certain things, you know how that can rub you? Clearly, she doesn't have any principles. That's why she thinks that it's okay to make these kind of comments about people. That is disgusting. That is just utterly disgusting. Here was a comment that someone actually sent a couple days ago. I think it was yesterday. That they want to talk to me on the phone because they have more information. I get so sick and tired of people complaining about her. If you guys know the amount of emails that I have actually not even put in the public domain about this woman, So this person says, good morning, Miss Hill. I'm watching your show a lot, and today I see a particular individual was on the opening of your show, Carrie Tibbetts, as I used to know her by. If you care to hear what I can tell you, the reason why I have contacted you, maybe in some small way I can help. So many people, same story, because she's left so many victims out there. Anyway, I'm no victim. Let me be very, very clear, right? I don't let people play with me. Y'all don't know. And if you don't know, there comes a point in time when you have to really stand on principle and deal with your business. And I'm handling my business. So again, thank you all so very, very much. I just wanted to let you know that. Where's my little video? We're going to end it on a positive note here this morning, just in case some of you may have forgotten. Perhaps you have forgotten what we stand for here on this platform. I don't want you to forget. It's important to keep your head high and to walk, right, with principles. The people who don't have any will continually try to come for you. Let them. Remember the let them principle? Let them come for you. Because you know how to handle your business. And so I want to be very, very clear this morning. We are handling our business. Why? Listen carefully.
Play with me, don't play with me. God on my side, you can't play on me.
You can't play on me, girl.
Devil tried, but he can't take from me. Take from me. I'm too covered. You can't aim at me. Aim at me. Boy, don't play with me.
Don't play with me.
You kept me alive.
Hallelujah. I'm going to play that song again because I know some of y'all need to hear it.
Don't play with me. Don't play with me. God on my side, you can't play on me. Play on me. Devil tried, but he can't take from me. Take from me. I'm too covered. You can't aim at me. Aim at me. Boy, don't play with me. Don't play with me. You kept me alive. Don't play with me. Don't celebrate me.
Hallelujah,
Yeah, I'm
honey.
standing on me.
Tell it like it is.
Even when it's hard, I'm who I need to be. You gotta do it for yourself. Ain't nobody coming through. You gotta find your strength, even when you don't want to. It's gonna be hard sometimes. It's gonna feel too much. You gon' break, you gon' cry, you gon' wanna give up. But believe me, you gon' make it.
Oh my gosh, doesn't that just put you in the mood for some praise and hallelujah time? I'm going to play that one more time, just in case you missed it. Miss Dorothy says, I love this song. Me too, girl.
I celebrate me. Yeah, I'm standing on me. Even when it's hard, I'm who I need to be. You gotta do it for yourself. Ain't nobody coming through. You gotta find your strength, even when you don't want to. It's gonna be hard sometimes. It's gonna feel too much. You gon' break, you gon' cry, you gon' wanna give up. But believe me, you gon' make it.
Oh my goodness. Am I the only one who wants to hear the full song? Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I grab in the full song because this song is gorgeous. Somebody this morning listening to this show needs a little bit of hallelujah and an amen. Yes, honey child. I'm going to play the full thing with all the lyrics because these songs are so powerful, right? Sometimes you just got to be about your peace. People trying to steal your joy. They're trying to steal your little peace. And you have to know, celebrate you. You're out here working hard. You are doing the right thing. Amen, Blissful Powell. Yes. Yamalith. Amen. Hallelujah to Lady D. Yep, we need it, Miss Sandy. I know there's so much negativity in the world that we're surrounded by, so many people that just want to try to tear you down and bring you down, but do not let them do it. Celebrate you. It's important, right? You know your story. You know your hardships. Good morning, Miss Tanya says, definitely gorgeous, so cute, along with the uplifting song. We're going to play the full lyrics today. Dorothy says, you made my day. Thank you, Sandy. God bless. Thank you so much as well. But this is what it's all about. We have the power to change people's lives, to make a positive impact. And we should not be just focusing on negativity all the time and trying to tear people down, especially when you're trying to tear people down with lies, right? There are times that we do things on this show that people don't like, and they're like, boy, Sandy, you know, you kind of put that person, put a little pressure on them. But one thing I have never done, swear on my own life, on Bible, I have never sat on this platform or any platform and lied in order to make somebody look bad. Why? That is not necessary. It is wrong. It is horrific to lie on people, to fabricate stories, and to defame people's character. It is so incredibly unnecessary. But I'm going to leave you all with this positive and amazing song. I want to play the full thing. Thank you so much, Lady D.
When I look at my life and see where I stand, yeah, I made it through more than they know. When I look at my life and all that I've been, every scar, every fall, every place I've been in, I'm still here breathing, still finding my way through the nights I thought I wouldn't see another day. Ain't nobody clapping for me, so I'm clapping for myself. All the times I held on when I needed help. I celebrate me for everything I survived, all the nights I cried, but still I stayed alive. I celebrate me. Yeah, I'm standing on me. Even when it's hard, I'm who I need to be. You gotta do it for yourself. Ain't nobody coming through. You gotta find your strength even when you don't want to. It's gonna be hard sometimes, it's gonna feel too much. You gon' break, you gon' cry, you gon' wanna give up. But believe me, you gon' make it even when you can't see. You're stronger than the moment, you just gotta believe. I celebrate me for everything I survived, all the storms I walked through. Still I'm here, still alive. Even with no clear view, nothing's stopping me. It's your eyes, even if it don't feel like it yet. You're still standing, and that means something. No one can take that from you. You gon' be alright, celebrate you. Celebrate me. Yeah, I'm standing on me. Even when it's hard, I'm who I need to be. You gotta do it for yourself. Ain't nobody coming through. You gotta find your strength even when you don't want to. It's gonna be hard sometimes, it's gonna feel too much. You gon' break, you gon' cry, you gon' wanna give up, but believe me, you gon' make it.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.